Hey guys, and Mario Kart World will be releasing in just a couple weeks, which I cannot believe. That is crazy. But while the game has some flaws, it is still exciting, and I'm still looking forward to it. And one interesting thing about it is that it's basically referencing all parts of the Mario franchise. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, we are finally reaching a point where Nintendo is starting to get more comfortable with referencing the extended Mario universe. But before we get started, I wanted to mention that I have a goal to hit 30,000 subscribers before the Nintendo Switch 2 launches, so if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, and if I hit that goal, I will give away a copy of Mario Kart World. But I feel like for Mario Kart World, it seems like a lot of the things that they're incorporating into this game are things that Nintendo doesn't usually reference in Mario games and Mario spin-offs. I know they've been referencing a lot more lately in some recent Mario games, but I feel like this goes beyond a lot of what we've come to expect from the Mario franchise, and I feel like part of the reason for that is because of how large this game is. Like, it's really the first true open world Mario game. I mean, sure, we've had Bowser's Fury, and that is technically open world, but that's technically also kind of a side thing as well. But this is like the first game where it's like a full open world for like the full game, and Nintendo is going all out in a lot of aspects. And sure, there are definitely concerns about how that open world is designed. I'm kind of concerned about that, but I do think Nintendo has been doing a lot of interesting things with it in terms of like referencing many past Mario games. And I feel like the way they've been handling it is almost similar to how Kirby games have been referencing past Kirby games. I think it's almost kind of similar to that. Maybe not exactly on the same level. I think we're still getting there. Kirby is usually really good about referencing other games, and they're usually pretty consistent about it. But I feel like now for like Mario Kart World, I think Nintendo really is only starting to kind of tap into the extended Mario universe here, kind of how I mentioned in my previous video, but they're doing it in a lot of interesting ways, and there's a lot of things that have been found since I have made previous videos about, like, this and everything, so I kind of wanted to discuss them here. And one that definitely stood out to me, I was looking through the Mario Wiki yesterday, kind of looking at, like, the different obstacles and enemies that were going to be in Mario Kart World, just looking for, like, certain things and just, like, double checking if something was there, like before I made a post about like Mario Kart World. But something caught my eye, and that was Frost Piranha from the Paper Mario series. I couldn't believe it at first, so I pulled up the footage and it was actually there. Frost Piranha from Paper Mario 64, Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario is actually going to appear in Mario Kart World. I think that is really cool. And yes, they technically have appeared in New Super Mario Bros. U, but they really only look like regular piranha plants, and we really don't know if they were supposed to be the same entity as the Frost Piranhas or not, or if it was just a coincidence. But here in Mario Kart World, they actually use the same colors as the Paper Mario series, and of course, they're in a snowy, icy area. So I think this is actually a case of something from the Paper Mario series being referenced, one of those rare cases we don't usually see. It's been quite a while since we've had like a true Paper Mario reference in Mario Kart, so I think it's really cool that we're getting Frost Piranhas in Mario Kart World. I think it's like really cool, even though it's not that much, because I know we also got like the putrid piranha as like one of the attacks in Smash Ultimate, but like this is appearing as an actual enemy, and I think that's pretty cool. And honestly, if this ends up being a playable character, since a lot of obstacles are like actually playable characters, and there are a lot of like variations of different characters and things, it would be so funny if Frost Piranha was the only Mario RPG like rep that was playable in Mario Kart. I mean, I know it would be a little disappointing because I'd like a character like Gino or Vivian, but it would still be interesting because it technically is something from Paper Mario. But it would kind of be funny at the same time, just due to like all of that. But I'm glad that Frost Piranha is here. But we've also seen some other fairly niche enemies appear in this game. Like, I've already mentioned Toko Toko and Batadon from Super Mario Land, as well as the Super Koopas from Super Mario World, but there are also some others. Chill Bullies from Mario 64 are going to be here, which I think it's pretty cool seeing them with the 3D World bully design. Like, the only other times they've appeared were in Super Mario 64 and 64DS, and Chief Chili, like a member of that species, has like also appeared in Mario Kart DS. Imagine if Chief Chili's also in the game. That would be really cool. Like if bosses were in the game, I think that would be like a pretty cool thing to see. But Chill Bullies with the 3D World bully design is really cool. And we've also seen Shoe Goombas from Super Mario Bros. 3. I know we saw those in like other games, like Paper Mario, the Origami King, but it's been a while since we've actually gotten like a regular version of them. I mean, technically, Mario Kart Tour had them, but this is like a more kind of like fleshed out HD kind of, I guess, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Madrid Drive technically had them, but like, it's still cool seeing the Shoe Goombas here. Like, it's good that they didn't just like have them for that one specific like place in Torrid 8 Deluxe and then just didn't use them again. So I think it's pretty cool that they're using them here. And then also Skeeters from Mario 64 are also making an appearance as well. Like, since they haven't appeared since Galaxy 2. So I think that's pretty cool. And they're using their Galaxy 2 design as well, which I also think is cool. I mean, there was that possibility that they could have redesigned them to look like a little more faithful to like their original design, but I like the fact that they're using the Galaxy 2 design. I like the Galaxy 2 design, because it's very reminiscent of a lot of like 2000s era Mario enemy designs, so I think it's pretty cool that we're seeing it here. And Behemoth, the singular original character from New Super Mario Bros. 2, is appearing in Boo Cinema. I think it's pretty cool that that character is appearing as well. I remember back when I was a kid, when I was playing New Super Mario Bros. 2, like, I already knew back then that the game was kind of, like, boring in terms of bosses, so I used to pretend that Behemoth was a boss, and I was like, oh, cool! We have, like a big Behemoth boss. I also pretended that there was like a mountain world in the game and just played the 5 mountain levels that are in the game. But yeah, I used to play Mario games in fairly creative ways to try to get more out of them, even though New Super Mario Bros. 2 doesn't have that much interesting out of it. But it's cool to see Behemoth in Mario Kart World. I know there was a reference to Behemoth in Mario Kart 8, so it's pretty cool actually seeing them there. So yeah. But moving on, there's also some interesting vehicle designs as well. Like we saw Rob in the Mario Kart World Direct. It's unfortunate that he's being reduced to a bike rather than an actual playable character, but it's still a pretty cool reference. And then we're also getting a Mario Bros. Arcade-themed bike, which is really cool. I really like the references to the older Mario arcade games. We really don't see them that often, but now recently we've been seeing more of a resurgence, like with Mario Odyssey, kind of referencing the original Donkey Kong a lot. And we're also getting DK Spaceport as well in Mario Kart World, so it's pretty cool to see kind of a resurgence of references to, like, the arcade Mario games. And then there's also a carpet-themed cart.
I'm in the house like carpet.
That's seemingly referencing both Super Mario Bros. 2, and it also has the Histocrat snakes from 3D World, which I think is a really cool little touch there. And on top of, like, vehicle design and enemies and everything else, We're also seeing certain course elements that are pretty interesting, like the P-switches resembling their Super Mario World designs, the question panels transforming into a face when driven over, like in Super Mario Kart. So I think that's a little cute detail. And we've also seen UFOs comparable to the ones in Super Mario Land, which definitely kind of builds off of that Sarasa Land and Super Mario Land enemy theming that this game has been going for. So a lot of really cool elements kind of added to the world here, on top of like the other things that I've mentioned. And then finally, one other interesting thing that this game is doing, and this is definitely very comparable to what I was saying about how Kirby was handling references in that franchise, but Mario Kart World will have different music tracks. When you're outside of the tracks proper, it will play various remixes of different Mario songs. It does, like, include ones from, like, other Mario Kart games, but it also includes ones from throughout the Mario franchise, like Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's Story, Bowser's Fury, even Wario Land, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, recent mainline titles like Super Mario Odyssey. So it seems like they're referencing a ton of different games here, and it's pretty exciting since there's a lot of instances where these songs wouldn't really be remixed otherwise. Like, some of them are a little too niche to be in Smash, or they wouldn't really have the proper opportunity to be remixed. So I think it's really cool seeing a lot of remixes of like various Mario songs and things, like just from throughout the franchise, not just the mainline titles. And since we are seeing references to the RPGs, like the Toad mural in Desert Hills referencing Sticker Star and Origami King, as well as the Frost Piranhas that I mentioned earlier in the video, I think there's definitely a possibility we could get like a few songs referencing Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi series. Like, it might only be like a couple tracks, but it would still be cool if we got something from them. And I think it definitely is possible because of the amount of spin-offs that they're referencing, like Wario Land and the Yoshi series. I think it's only a matter of time that we'll start to see like stuff from the RPGs, as well as Luigi's Mansion and Donkey Kong and different things. We've really only heard this music from like the Switch 2 events so far, so I think we're really only scratching the surface for the amount of music that we could be getting in this game. So I think we're probably going to get quite a lot. We're probably going to have something from like most of the mainline Mario titles, which is nice because there are a lot of like, oh, imagine a Super Mario Land 2 remix. That would be amazing. I hope we get that, or even like references to like very recent titles, like Mario Wonder. We could get like remixes of Mario Wonder music, even though that's a pretty recent title. And then of course I was mentioning already, like the Mario RPGs definitely seem like they're on the table at this point. So I think the sky's the limit to things that Mario Kart World could reference. I know we're not quite getting things like full RPG characters or like Professor Egad being playable, but we are getting a lot of interesting things that we usually don't see the Mario franchise reference. So I think that still is pretty cool, and I hope they keep it up. So, but it still is unfortunate that this game is $80, and everything that I mentioned in this video doesn't really justify the price. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!